All right. Your name is?
Jack Fleming.
Jack Fleming.
I'm I'm 76 years old. I hired out in 1956 in Beloit, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Then I worked a year, then I went in the Marines for 2 years. Then when we came out of the Marines, that's when I started running down through here. In the 59, 60, 61.
Okay. And what was a typical day of the operations, and where did you run to and from on Milwaukee?
We started out of Beloit, and we usually went to work anywhere from 9 a.m. till noon. Then we got, like 12 hours. At that time, we didn't do a lot of work. We picked up and set out at Rockford. Then we came down at Davis, we picked up, set out, did a little switching. Then we came down through here. We'd have like 100 cars in here. A lot of times we'd head right down the IC, right into their yard, and set out 90 cars. I remember there was a crossing down there we had. This was before radios now. So, and going this way, we'd have like 90 to 100 cars. And there's quite a hill after, and there's quite a trick. Of course, you didn't have radios then. So how is the conductor going to line that switch back, see? So you had to know how many cars you got, and you kind of guessed it, and at the end you just kind of slowed down till. And I remember when Tubby Edwards, Tubby was quite a character. Tubby had one eye, he always, and every other word was a swear word out of Tubby, but he was a good switchman. And we'd be switching around here. One night we didn't gauge it right, and Tubby had to run. So up at Stewart Junction, here comes Tubby, and he let us know that we didn't do right. But then we'd pick up at Stewart the cars on the way down, any Chicago cars that you picked up at Rochelle. And Rochelle at that time wasn't that big. We'd set them out at Stewart Junction, and then on the way back, the other guy would pick them up and take them back to Davis and set them out in the South Yard for Chicago. Anything going west, you set out in the North Yard.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that was around the clock then.
Okay.
See, then of course, the city trains ran through there. At that time, there were 6 each way.
Wow. Okay.
6 each way, yeah.
Now, when you came down here on the Milwaukee Road, and the typical stop was, did you have to pick up orders over at the depot there? And
no. See, normally he was closed. But to tell you the truth, I never did see the agent here because we were always here at night. But he'd have a list. If he came down, like if the IC came in here at 6 o'clock at night, I guess he'd come down and take a list. So at that time, North Beloit, which is it had a plant there. They get like 60 or 70 of them. So then we had to block them for them.
okay.
So then you had some for the west, and for Rockford and that, the coal out of here.
Okay, so did IC bring up the coal cars,
Yeah.
and then you guys picked them up?
From Clinton, Illinois.
Oh, okay, okay.
And of course, and then sometimes the ones that went to North Beloit, those IC hoppers, another job that went from Janesville to Freeport, he'd take them to Freeport and they'd interchange them there.
Oh, okay.
See, it's faster, get them off your lines.
Oh.
Foreign cars, see, per dime.
Oh, really?
Per dime was a big deal. It still is. See,
Okay.
so.
Yeah. Now, how about LAD? What kind of work did you guys have to do in LAD?
Like I said, the only thing we used to pick up automobiles there and take them to, eventually they went to Janesville. But outside of that, there wasn't too much.
Okay.
See, I hired out 56 and that spur line, they tore it out in 56.
Oh, okay.
But then they had a job from LAD that went down to Hennepin, a day job, and they'd use our power to go down there. That's before the steel plant was in there.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, they went to Oglesby, down to the cement works at Oglesby. The Rock Island and them were big competitors. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have a little bit of a train out of there,
Yeah.
off of them.
Okay. Then you went through Cedar Point and
Yes,
Cedar Point.
in
Yeah.
Hennepin,
Standard.
Standard, yeah. And I remember we'd go down to Hennepin, we back in, we put 25 cars on one side on the steel trains and 25 on the other, and then they transport us over to Cedar Point. If I remember right, it was near the river, And we stayed at a nice, it was a nice motel there. But we'd only be down there about 8 hours, and back we'd come.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, put your train together, and away we'd come back.
Really?
Then at Mendota, if those engines then they had to jump from Mendota down the lat down to Hennepin and that at the end. Then we'd interchange. If those engines needed service, we'd pick those engines up, take them up, and we'd leave ours. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, did they ever have any work for you guys? Was the Cherry branch operating at that time, or no?
No,
that was shut.
Yeah, see, Cherry Branch was like 2 Mile Branch, yeah.
Yeah.
You could see where it went. In fact, when I got up in the morning, I slept in a caboose right by the crossing. You looked over there, and there was the pilings.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was just shut. Like 56, they shut that line down.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed when I grew up here in Mendota, they used to store, or they used to keep the engines idling overnight here in Mendota, some of the engines.
The Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee, yeah. Yeah, so I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, see, at the end, they tied, at the end, the job started out of Janesville, Wisconsin, and tied up here. Then a job from here went south. They tied up at Janesville. They went to work at 2 o'clock that afternoon. The reason of that, the automobiles that went to the West Coast, see, then they'd pick them up and they had a cutoff at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Whatever was there was there.
Oh, okay.
And they come down. You talk about Rapine, I remember.
Yeah,
Rapine.
Clarence Rapine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, now when you worked with Clarence Rapine, you said what were you doing with him?
I was breaking.
You were breaking for him? Okay, all right.
Bones Gorman.
Okay.
Remember Bones?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, Bones followed me. But there was a fight who was going to be a head brakeman and a high brake. I always said I'd just break ahead because then I can see where I'm going, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bones was a good guy.
Yeah. Do you ever remember any derailments that you guys had or any trouble?
Well, yeah, I was just telling him. Down here, maybe 4 or 5 miles. It was in June. They called me for conductor. At that time, I was on the Madison division. They said, "Could you be conductor?" So anyway, we got our train together. We left. I felt the caboose go kittywampus there. So I looked back and here the rail was running just like a big snake. And so I told the engineer about it, and on the way back we went over real slow. We had 6 cars of steel. And we got over, and then you look back and it looked like a big snake. See, that's light rail.
Yeah.
It was like 95 that day.
Yeah.
And of course I called the dispatcher. I said, "Say, you can't." So that, of course, they detoured down over the IC to some junction, then over the Conrail there. I remember you go down to your back around the Y, and then you went into Hennepin the back way.
Oh,
See?
really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's the only derailment I can think of, yeah.
Okay.
I got a Milwaukee Road magazine to home yet. Of course, I belong to the Milwaukee Road Historic Society.
Uh-huh.
And it is about the seal train.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I kept that, yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the IC tower here? Did you guys?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an IC, yeah. You had to call them. Yeah, there's a block phone.
Okay.
Of course, it wasn't the IC. Well, of course, the IC sometimes he'd be coming up or going down. But mostly, of course, like I say, there was a lot of passenger trains through there. And the CB&Q ran a lot of trains through here there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So what years did you work? From
59 to about 62.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
And the main power back then were the F units, or?
Yeah, those big tall ones.
Oh, okay.
Remember those?
Did you have? Yeah. Were they like kind of the covered wagon?
Well, sometimes they never covered wagon. No, these you almost need an elevator to get up and do.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
big tall ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I never with those covered wagons. I never worked down here with those.
Okay. So the Fairbanks Morse.
Fairbanks.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, when I moved here in the 1970s, they were just using the F units.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
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 Yeah. It was interesting.
Well,
Interesting time.
Then I tell you, we stopped there. There was a chicken place, a bar over here, And we went in there 1959. I remember the Dodgers was playing the White Sox. We went in and we watched a couple innings of it while we were eating our
Okay.
chicken dinners over here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So was the railroad good to work for back then?
Oh, I loved it.
Did you?
See, I wouldn't have quit, but like I say, when I got crushed between two railroad cars, and then I was coming up towards 60. You see, and I was going to go to Fox Lake and work those trains, and they said, no, you're going.
Really?
See, so
So you got hurt between two railroad cars?
yeah, I got crushed.
Oh my
at
God.
Rockford,
Really?
94. Yeah.
How did that happen? What-
Well, I was on the side of a covered hopper, and it derailed, went into the side of a gondola at Foundry up there.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And
Gun
then,
night. Yeah.
how much damage did it do to your body?
Oh, it crushed me in here, and I was ready to go back. Like I said, I was ready to go back to work. And
Wow.
They said we're not going to go. So now I work up at the Riverside Great Northern Railroad, which is a low 15-inch railroad at the Wisconsin Dells. It's a
Okay.
steam engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you recall doing any work at Scarborough and Welland?
Yes. In fact, the Scarborough, I can't think of his name right offhand. He was the agent there. Then he was a train master. Later on, I ran into him. Yeah. Yeah. We used to pick up every night at least 2-3 cars of corn at that
Okay.
time. And Welland, I remember we had to go way back around, and we put cars in there like fertilizer cars, if I remember.
Okay.
Then you started down that hill.
Okay.
That's quite a hill.
Quite a hill, Welland Hill.
Oh yeah.
Ever remember any winters you got stuck or anything?
No, but they did. After I left here, I remember they were stuck out there for a while. In fact, they had to get inloaders and that out there. Oh
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Because it drifted in, huh?
Oh yeah, that's open country. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You can still see the telephone wires line follows that line, you know, that curve there.
Uh huh.
Yeah. When you go up on 39, if you're going, you know,
39,
going home
yeah.
that way.
Yeah, we came down that way.
Okay. They still have a trestle just south of here, you know, with that little trestle before it went over 51,
Yeah.
you know. That little wood trestle is still there.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have to go
Minus the
down.
rails. Yeah, it's still there. If you, well, with the corn's not that high yet, but if you're going south on 51 or 251 now,
Well,
you look to the left by the automobile places, dealers, and you can see that.
we want to go to Ladd yet because at Ladd, at that time there was 5 railroads: the CB&Q, the Milwaukee, the Northwestern, the New York Central, and the LaSalle Barrow County, which was at that time was a short line. And Ladd didn't pay school taxes. The railroad paid so much tax in there. Yeah, and they had an operator, and that office wasn't as big as this room here. That's where he was. You know, he was an all-night operator.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. He gave orders for all the. There's a guy came down on the queue, and then he went to Zurich, I think,
Okay.
and that.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Now, did they have an engine house or something in the area?
And years ago they did.
Okay.
Oh yes, they did. Because I slept in it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
A roundhouse. Yeah. We slept in it.
Where was that located at?
Okay. There was, well, at that time, of course, the depot was abandoned. It was right off that highway that went through there.
In Mendota here?
Yeah, I know, at the
Ladd. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, did you have you didn't have a depot at Ladd? That was the New York Central depot there?
Yeah.
And then you had like a little building.
Yeah, a little building. That's where you got your orders
Okay.
and your bills,
Okay.
way bills. You didn't move a car without a way bill at that time.
Really?
But now,
Yeah.
everything's on computer.
Wow. Yeah. I'll be darned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any other stories you want to share with
No,
about
but
Milwaukee?
I certainly enjoy this though.
Yeah, isn't this a nice car here?
It's a nice car, and this
Yeah.
is a nice place. But,
Yeah, it is. It is. We have a lot of nice pictures in
Uh-huh.
there, and
Uh-huh.
it's really a nice thing. They restored this car. This was sitting in Rockford,
Oh.
and it was just dilapidated. I mean, this was gutted and
Uh-huh.
and redone. Yeah. But, yeah.
What was this off of Brian's line, I bet?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I belong to the one at North Freedom.
Okay.
And of course, they got a RDC car. Well, I call it the RC car there, off the Great Northern from Washington in there.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were running it, and somebody didn't protect the oil and burned the motor up. So.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I was going to ask you, how many man crews? Did they have 2 or 3 man crews back then?
Oh no, we had 5. We had 5.
5? Really?
Yeah. See, that was 59. Yeah.
59? Really?
Yeah. See, that was before radios.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
No, we had 5 men on a crew.
Really?
Yeah, we had firemen even. Yeah.
Okay. So you had an engineer, you had a conductor, a brakeman, a fireman, and who would be the other
Head
guy?
brakeman.
Head brakeman. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we slept in the caboose.
Really. Now, this was, when you started, you said 59.
Oh, I started 56, yeah.
56. Now, were there any steam locomotives still?
No.
Just
The year before they went, in fact, my first pay trip was from Beloit to Sturtevant, Wisconsin.
okay.
And I remember we came around and there was a water tower there, and they were tearing it down
Okay.
that day.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Really?
remember that.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's informative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but 1965, now they ran steam again because at Savannah they had high water.
Oh,
Of course, you can't put a diesel in, over 4 inches of water.
Oh, really?
See, it short out on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So they just like plugged it in a thing. So they put the steam, they started the steam back up
Oh, okay.
for a while, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, like I say, we used to go in the siding at Rochelle, and all these steam engines would go by on these passenger trains, extras.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they go down to Oregon and back,
Yeah.
to Aurora, yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to do it.
Yeah, okay, that's great. I'm always interested in interviewing ex-Milwaukee guys, you know. Yeah, it's kind of close to my heart, you know,
Oh, yeah.
because, you know, I lived right on the Milwaukee Road and used to see those F units go by. And boy, that track was just not the best in the world.
Oh,
you know.
no, you kind of hung on how you hung on a lot of
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Yeah,
was
that's
great.
very nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we're going to take a little
Yeah.
scooter ride.
Okay.